Hey YouTubers, Electric Adventures here, and I'm going to do an AV mod. Now this is for one of my favourite 8-bit era consoles, which is the Atari 7800. Now of course I live in Powerland, and there hasn't been an AV mod for the Atari 7800. Well, there has sort of. There's been a few confusing diagrams, but nobody's made it into like a kit form that anybody could do. Now the gentleman who I got the ColecoVision AV mod off, and I've actually used 2 of those in the past, always said he was working on an Atari 7800 PAL version of his AV mods. And by the way, this mod actually works on a PAL Atari 2600 as well. Yeah, so it only just come out. He sent me a message because he knew I was after one. Ordered it, and company offers free postage. They're only tiny packages. He just sends them surface, but because it's small it doesn't take too long to come, probably about 10 to 14 days, all the way from Turkey to Australia, so you know, obviously the US is probably going to be about the same, and European countries it might be a bit quicker, but it's not that hard to install. Doesn't have a tremendous lot of components on it, but it's got pretty good instructions, and I thought I'd put a video together of me doing it. Now I'm not going to show you my soldering or anything like that, but I'll try and add a bit more detail to what's in the printed instructions, so you can see how easy it is. And I'll also be doing, I'll record some gameplay before I do the mod, and gameplay after the mod, so we can do a comparison and see what sort of a difference it makes. Because the Atari 7800, the signal can be quite varying. You can play it, you can get a decent picture, and then halfway through a game it'll decide to go for a wander, and you'll get fuzzy sound and rolling things over the picture, and it can vary a lot. And a lot of the games are very dark, especially the actual 7800 games as well, so they quite often doesn't tune in well. Alright, so let's go give this mod a go. Right, here we go with the mod. So I have my PAL 7800 here. It's in reasonable condition. It's dusty at the moment, but cut little marks on the silver, but it's not a too bad unit, just that the RF output is pretty crappy, which is the same for most power units. Obviously I haven't cleaned up the back for a while. Cleaned it up at all, so first thing I need to do is open up the case. Sorry, I was removing that. Of course, there is another screw here underneath the warranty sticker, so that one needs to go as well. Okay, the top comes off fairly easy, and then you have this shield, which is attached by little twist tabs. So we'll take those off. So back again, it's a little fiddly, but it does eventually come off, and you don't need to exert any pressure, just using a little screwdriver to go around. So there is the power circuit board. It's not very big, sorry, not showing you all the components. We have an underside shield as well. Now we need to remove some components. Screwdriver to point. So they are
Okay, so this is the RF modulator. That'll be coming off entirely. Then you have this resistor here, and directly below it, that one needs to go. And then down to this area here, we have, that's probably a diode. These two resistors need to go. And then the mounting point for the RF modulator, that needs to come off entirely as well. So what I will do, I will go and desolder that and come back to it. Okay, I removed all the components, which is actually a pain in the proverbial getting that RF modulator off. And I've attached the first audio in wire, bridging the two resistors there, so that actually joins the two audio parts together. Alright, I'll put a few more components on and then we'll have a zoom in on the board of what I've joined. Okay, so this is where the audio in goes to, bridging those 2 points, and then over here the 3 points where the RF shield came off. We have video in, 5 volts, and our ground in, and then basically all we're left with are our 3 wires, which are video, audio, sorry, having focusing problems, video, audio and ground, which hook up to our points at the back. So I'll put all that together and show you the finished result. So just to review, we have the audio bridging our 2 resistors there, and then over here we have on the top our video out, our 5 volt power and our ground in, and then all you do is you sit the module up here where the RF modulator was. I'm going to hot glue that in place. Then over here we have, and I've put in 3 connectors, only came with 2, I switched them out for the gold ones that I have a few of, and we have our composite and our left and right. All the grounds are wired together, and the one audio channel is hooked up to both. That saves having an adapter and also saves it coming out with one channel. So I've already plugged it in and given it a quick test to make sure everything works, and now I'm going to put some hot glue on it and then we can give it a go. Okay, now here we go with Frogger. Now what I'm going to try and do here, I'm obviously recording the after footage at the moment, so I recorded a set of games and I'm going to play through the same set of games and put them side by side in comparison. It goes without question that the original ones, the sound sometimes works and other times when it drifts off channel you get a fuzzing sound. I'm not going to compare the sound, and we're just going to try and compare the video. So press reset to get this one going. So already to my eyes, I mean, this is a very stable, nice looking picture, and it doesn't seem to vary as much. I'm not going to play much of each of the games. We're only going to have a quick look just to see what the picture's like, but you know, that's a pretty good Frogger picture. Alright, let's try another game. And here we go with one of my favourite games, Sequest, which I play quite regularly. Did have the highest score on the score ground, but some person has beat me at the moment. So as you can see, everything, all the colours are really nice. There's no waves going up the, you know, rolling black going up, and the picture is staying stable. So very nice. And the sound is nice and clear. So let's try another one. Okay, so this is boxing, which I'm terrible at. I think both videos will show how bad I am at it. But once again, you know, nice clear colours. I mean, it's not perfect, but we have a reasonably stable image. Alright.
Alright, let's try another game. So, before we're doing 2600 games, now we'll try some 7800 games. So the inbuilt game in an Atari 7800 is Asteroids. And through RF, it's really, really dark and very hard to play because this is a dark game. And already, I can see a dramatic improvement. And you can already see, like in this version, you can see that they are actually trying to get the, you know, to show that the asteroids are rotating. Whereas I don't think using RF you could actually see that's what they're trying to do. So they're using a lot more shades and colours and things like that. And it just makes it a much more enjoyable game that you'd actually, you know, think about playing rather than something that's just too mucky. So of course, you know, 7800 sound effects is still a bit harsh, but I think that's a great improvement in detail that you can see. Not the gameplay is doing that good, but you know, you can see the rotating bit on the saucer and things like that. So alright, let's try one of the cartridge games. Okay, now this is Xevious, a game that also looks horrible on RF because of the dark colours. Now you can hold the fire button down on this one. And the only trouble is this is one where the sound effects are a little harsh, so... Now there still is a little bit of you know, interference in the video signal, but it's greatly improved. And this makes, you know, makes it one of the better home conversions of this game for the 8-bit era. There is a version for the PC Engine which is extraordinary, but the PC Engine can't really be considered an 8-bit system. But that, you know, that makes that much more enjoyable and playable game. So, alright, we'll try one more. So last game in this comparison is Galaga. I don't know why I picked this version when I was doing the first run through, because I actually hate this version. It suffers from powerness, if you know what I mean, and slowness. But anyway, got a lot of nice graphics, but that opening music really annoys me at how slow it is, and the game just crawls, as you can see. But saying that, at least we can now see it, and I can get a clean catch up. So we'll just wait till we get underway with the main part of the game. Like we're waiting an eternity. Did you attack me now? There you go. It's just not a very good example. A very good example of a 7800 game, really. Alright. So there we go. I hope you'll all agree that that is a dramatic improvement. Finally, an AV conversion you can do to a PAL 7800 and improve the absolutely atrocious picture quality that they had before. It was very hard to achieve a stable picture. And since I use my 7800 for playing all my 2600 games, so you only have to have one system plugged in, it makes it a very useful system. Alright, thank you all for watching. Thanks to all subscribers. I'll leave a link down to the seller of the AV mod down below, and I'll catch you all later.